Hey garden friends, I'm out on the back deck. We are almost done and I can really show you an in-depth look at the back deck garden. But for this morning, we are going to take our entrance garden tour for this first week of July. And you know, this year is just my favorite time of year. Everything's coming together. I can see how my plans are working out, even for the artist garden. I talk about some of the things that aren't working for me and my ideas for changing it. I don't have a fully formed concept yet, but I know I will. So as we go along and as it matures, then I find how things work and how they don't. So let's get rolling on our entrance garden tour for this first week of July. If you're new here, my name is Pam and I garden in Zone 8B in the mountains of Northern California. I struggle with getting direct sun. I struggle with late snows. I struggle with so many challenges in my garden that if I can grow one, I know you can too. So come on along and let's take a tour of my front garden. Alrighty then, the back deck is coming along. I haven't got it fully set up yet, but it's so much closer to being done. I was going to put this banana tree over there by the other one, but last summer I enjoyed seeing it from my dining area so much that I decided to go ahead and put it back. Now it was smaller. I think I'm going to put it down on the floor rather than up on the stand, because then I can enjoy it better seeing it that way. So here's my setup. I got to do an intro for a different video here, and I'll do that in a minute, but let's walk along. There's that clematis that's in my rose cottage garden that is always so gorgeous. And I moved these petunias. These are the new wave, the new color, and it's called navy velour, and they are so rich and dramatic. I just love them, and they have a gorgeous scent. One of my little tree roses, I was thinking it would be tall enough to block the view from my neighbor's kitchen window over into our back deck, but it isn't. The other tree rose I had to prune severely, so it's no longer doing the job. So here's some plants that need planting, and the roses along the side porch. And I'm still behind on getting this table done. So much has changed this last week. I probably will have less time for videoing because I'm starting a new job. I hadn't really wanted to go back to bookkeeping, but they needed me and they offered me really good money. So I thought, okay, I can just get a lot more plants. So we'll make the best of it. So look at this tree rose. This is the same as the other one that I had on this over there. I think this one being taller, I couldn't lift this one. My husband has to. My neighbor's leaving. I'll let her go by first. Anyways, this one is taller. So I'll have my husband move it back there where the other one was. Look at these. These bloom like this all summer long. It is why I love it. It's called Regan's something. I will have to put the name up for you because I don't remember it offhand, but when I found the second one at Lowe's this year, I snapped it up because this one was truly a winner all summer long. So let's go around front. Our front entrance garden tour like we do every week. And it is, I don't know how much different it is since last week. But yeah, the Gaillardia blanket flowers doing beautiful. That phlox. That was the earliest blooming one, and I'm going to have to look up the name of it. It is a proven winter selection that was supposed to start early. Here, this is Veronica, perfectly Picasso. Isn't that going to be just beautiful? Even when I first got it, the first year, it just performed. Look at this. This is a wonderful echinacea. I don't know what color it is until it blooms. I had several here and some got eaten by the gophers, so I don't know which one made it. So I planted another phlox there because the other one did so beautiful, and this one is called Opening Act Ultra Pink. I think the opening acts are supposed to bloom earlier than many others, and that's what I loved about them, because my other tall phlox bloom later on in the summer, which is, it's a great thing they do because it's when many other things have gone over. So I don't know what name this Veronica is, but it's another beautiful Veronica. So this is my Shaggy Maggie, or Agalea daisy, and it's roughly, this is a true perennial daisy. The others are my crazy daisies too, but this one is one that you cannot start from seed. This one has to be divided, and a friend gave that to me, and she nicknamed it Shaggy Maggie. So my Southern Charm verbascum is still doing gorgeous. Even though the tip, I need to prune it back. It's supposed to rebloom, so I need to prune it back. Every year I tried to let it go to seed instead, but I thought I need to do it right and see if I can get it to rebloom. Now, many things that'll rebloom elsewhere don't here because of my short growing season, the cool summer nights, etc. So I have some extenuating circumstances. So over here, this is one of those shorter growing monardas that doesn't spread vigorously. It's from Proven Winners. I saved the tag down there. Now I'm really loving it. Let me see. This is Pardon My Purple. So yeah, I love that. I love the monardas, my tall ones too, but they can run and I have to stay up with them. So here's some more Veronicas in here. I'm finding Veronicas do very well for me, and so that's why I planted plenty more after I discovered they did well. And so far the gophers don't seem to bother them. Now here, back there, I have a confession to make. That, I've been telling you week after week that is Jasmina arboros. Well, another garden friend was showing hers, and hers is a violet pink. And so I started doing research, and sure enough, this one has too much orange and yellow in it. It is not Jasmina, but that's what the tag said. So I don't have the receipt from when I purchased this, and the site that I purchased it, they changed their website. Therefore, they lost all the previous orders. I might have it in my garden. I'll have to look closely. But I know if I showed them this and I had my receipt, that they would replace it. They're very good about that. But now I'm going to get Jasmina after all. And that has been such a beautiful rose and performed so well. It keeps blooming all summer that I don't mind too much. So I will now order Jasmina, and hopefully it performs as well. I've been bragging on that one. And yeah, and it's not Jasmina. And I have no idea what it is. So my Hyde Hall roses in the barrel. Beautiful. I have another one out back. I would love to get these in the ground. So they can get 6 feet tall. I bought them for a hedge in the back. And then when we did something different back there, I put them, well, the gopher started eating them for one. So I put them in the big barrel. But yeah, that's Darcy Bucelle back there, that beautiful red. And this one is LD Braithwaite. Now I have right here, this one is called Polka, and it's supposed to be very vigorous, and it's struggling. So I'm wondering if the gopher is running through there. So I will, I think I may need to dig it up and let it get going, like I had to do with my grandmother's hat, and that one is just coming along beautifully and blooming away. My pink petunias, my pink wave petunias, are recovering after I had planted them out and didn't have sufficient water to them. And now they're bouncing back beautifully now that I got the water to them. And echinacea, this is one of my volunteers. And there is white, no, this is a zinnia, a white zinnia. Yes, beautiful, beautiful. And that's one of my cuttings I took from a salvia that I planted out. Now I had planted out some cosmos, and they have all disappeared. So I must have an insect in here or something. I might have slugs. I know pill bugs have been thick in this area. And so, yeah, I need to put out my first Saturday lime. That really works well for repelling pests. And this phlox is getting ready to bloom. And I don't remember, ultra something. I We'll have to find the tag or look at last year's video. I had it in there. So, now, here's my artist's garden. The verbascum, these are wedding candles, very popular with the insects. The pollinators. I have 3 of them in here, and they have become so huge. I think 3 is too many in this bed. It's too small of a bed. I think 1 would be sufficient. So this fall, I am definitely moving at least 2 of them. If not all 3, they might just be too big, period, for this bed. And yeah, but try again. You have an idea and you see how it works out. I did not realize these things got this massive. You notice my Southern Charm over there behind the bench does not get this big. So it could be just the variety, it could be the location. But yeah. So this is, this is a salvia. I want to say, I can't remember what it is, but meadow sage, but it had a name. And this was a little simple 4-inch pot I got from the local garden center when they were clearing out all their plants. And I love it. It has been blooming so gorgeously from early on. So I want to propagate this. I will probably divide it this fall and scatter it around this artist garden. You see, look, my orange zinnias are beginning to bloom. Perfect. That orange is exactly what I wanted. Along with the purple petunias. And garden kitty. Hey, kitty. This is Verbena bonariensis. This was vanity, which was supposed to bloom shorter, and it's not. It's very tall, so I'm having to, like here, prop it up. But it's such a gorgeous purple. At first, I was just pruning back the ones that were flopping into the path, and I thought, no, I'm going to stand them up and support them. I'm looking for the seeds for lollipop, which does bloom shorter, or at least it claims to. So did vanity claim to, but obviously in this bed, it wants to get taller. Look at that bumblebee. Oh, where did he go? Oh, there he is. All over that. Again, this is wedding candles verbascum. And look, it has all these shoots coming up, and the salvia is getting ready to bloom. Yeah. See, I wanted to do more of this salvia only because it blooms earlier than the other, so you have color earlier. So my super petunias are still doing beautiful. I do love this mix. Isn't that gorgeous? Now I'm looking and watching for the darker petunia over in this one, but I'm not seeing it yet. Who knows? Maybe it's in there. We'll get back to my Eden rose. My husband's loading some stuff up in the car. But look how beautiful that lovely alyssum is. And doing beautifully. Over here, my zinnias are getting ready to bloom. This is another perfectly Picasso Veronica. So, doing great. I've got a volunteer, Black-Eyed Susan, and I see another indentation down there. I think another iris has disappeared. So, I'm going to have to start planting my irises in little gopher cages, I guess. Yeah, I've not had issues with them eating the irises before. It was always something different. So down in here, things are coming along. The sun's coming out. Look at this. This is my fall. That's kind of blowing it out on the camera. Fall Fiesta iris. It's one of the last of the irises to bloom here. This is a new one, so I don't know if it'll bloom this late next year. But this up here is kind of my wild area that I haven't done a whole lot with. I have been putting some things in there. I think I have some Veronica in there, some phlox I planted recently. I have a Delphinium in there. The Sweet Williams are doing beautifully. So look at my Olivia Austin Rose. Once I protected it from the gophers, and after it recovered from that freeze, it's just doing beautifully. I was about ready to give up on it, but try again. Now, why the gophers have not bothered my European rose, I don't know, but it's doing beautifully. It needs to be deadheaded, but it will bloom again. So there, my Sweet Williams. I was hoping for more different colors, but that pink is pretty. It will go to seed. Here's my petal pushers. These are my ground cover roses. They bloom all summer long too. Now here's the piece de resistance, my Eden rose. I'm going to get into the sun here for a minute with that clematis. Isn't that gorgeous? I am going to take cuttings of this to start another one to put on this side, because this Eden rose is a start from the one on the other side. So look at how gorgeous that is. My husband's loading up propane tanks that we use for our fire pit. We ran out this morning. We were sitting out there. It was a very cool morning, which was enjoyable. So that is that side of the entrance garden. Now we'll go up and along the outside. We'll go up here. I didn't get close to these. I wanted to show you. Look at those lilies. Aren't they gorgeous? Those are the ones I planted, I think last fall. And I planted them in pots so that the gophers couldn't eat them, because they love lily bulbs. But yeah, those are so pretty. I'm so thrilled. I'm happy that I took the time to plant them in the pots. And look at that rose is so beautiful. My limelight hydrangea, look how tall it's getting. It's doing good. Hopefully the stems are sturdy enough I won't have to tie it up this year, but I might. That's okay. I'll do it. I've got that thing there, right there, that hook for the delphinium. I do need to tie that up. That does tend to lean forward, and it's getting ready to bloom. Now that delphinium is a true perennial, because I've had that for 10 years, and it's grown right there. It has not reseeded. That has been the disappointment for me. But I got a mosquito after me again. Sorry if I wave. Look at this, my Eden along the fence. I'll go up around there so we can see it. Now the one thing I love about the Eden rose is even as it's dying, fading, it holds on to the flowers. I had New Dawn here and it would fall apart easily, but this holds the flowers until basically I cut them off. It's a deadhead. I was deadheading out here earlier this morning with my coffee. Look at this. It's just loaded with buds. And it is just so pretty. So pretty. And don't you think that clematis woven across the fence with this would be just gorgeous? I'm going to have to try to do that. I am going to take so many cuttings. I mean, this thing is so vigorous. Let me look over here. Look at the size of that stem. That is huge. And this thing blooms for quite a while. Is that not focusing? There you go. A mosquito is getting right on the screen. Go away, mosquito. But yeah, I don't remember the name of it. I'd have to look it up. I know I have it in one of my old videos. It just takes time for me to go through and find. I had thought I would remember it, and I don't. It is just an outstanding bloomer. Look at that. Perfect with it. Now over here, look at this one. This is Roguchi, and it's just doing so fantastic. I have another clematis in there too called Vancouver Fragrant Star. I need to get down in there and see how it's doing. I thought I had lost it last year, but I saw it coming back up from the roots this year. So, yep, here's that rose that is just covered with white blossoms. Now this does this all summer long. The deer leave it alone. I don't know why. It may be because it's super prickly, but yeah. I have it growing up a obelisk. This is actually a ground cover rose, and let me tell you, it would cover the ground if I let it do that. The hollyhock is starting. My Roseanne geranium is getting going. And this daylily, this has never bloomed well. It just started this year, probably because I made sure it didn't get swamped by everything else. This fern needs to come out. Look at my poor squash down there. It's getting eaten by something. I have to get my first Saturday lime out here and put it around it and make sure to protect it. Those are Denali, I don't know, Durrani something squash, and it's a light green skin, and they are so delicious. And I plant them every year. I've tried several, and that is my favorite zucchini. But down here, do you know the Katrina rose? I have it down here. The daisies are obscuring it down there. I'm hoping the gophers are leaving it alone because I did not take the time to put it in a cage. It looks like it's coming along fine, but I may want to dig it up maybe this fall and protect it because the gophers, I'm just not getting rid of them. So everything I've tried, I had to put those in cages. Everything I've tried hasn't worked. So I have to protect every little thing that I can. Elky hardy geranium still blooming strong. This one does stay shorter than the others I have in other parts of the garden. This coreopsis comes back every year, bigger and better. It's just massive this year. So here's another, this is another one of my iceberg roses. I'm thinking, thinking I might put it on the back hill with my others. Isn't this sedum down here just gorgeous? It's not a creeping sedum, but it is beautiful. The coreopsis is kind of obscuring it. I can cut that back. And that was a dry spot. That's why I put it there. Happy Chappy, I need to do some deadheading. Keep it blooming pretty. This little lavender, I love it because it stays so short. And I don't know the name of it. There's two different ones I have here. This one, and then that one back there. And yep, I bought them because they stayed short. Where I had them before, they were not surviving. And so I put them here where it's drier. And yeah, they're doing beautiful. So I will divide some out this fall, propagate them, and I will find other spots. I'll poke them in a bunch of spots and see where they make it. But I love, love lavender. My dahlias are down there. An Elky geranium that I propagated from the one above. Here's another spot. I put one of those wedding candles for bascom, and it's doing beautiful. Look at my white, I'm so glad these are white hollyhocks. I was about to take them out because they're kind of blocking the sun from my roses there. And I wanted the roses to get full sun. So this is the rose campion. This is a reseeder. And I pull out where I don't want them, and I let them stay where they will. Now here is my grandmother's hat rose that I told you that the gophers just about ate to death. And now, look at it, doing beautiful. I need to tie it to this trellis, and back there, Lady of Shalott needs deadheading, but it has more buds. But look at that bright orange of the Betty Harkness rose. Yeah, that's what I wanted there, and that goes so well with the Lady Shalott. And this is a peace rose right here. So, yeah, I don't know if it's focusing or wanting to go further back. But there's the peace rose. Now I'm going to take you along the front porch to see how the stuff there is doing. Whoops, hitting my trellis. So here we are along the front. Now these are my Tequila Supreme roses. And I put them here as a trial along with, well, the boxwoods would make it just fine. But this gets a short period of sun. So I was worried that my Tequila Surprise roses wouldn't do well. Now you know roses love sun at least 6 hours, and I think this area gets 4. So they're doing beautifully. They're blooming beautifully. So far, no gophers have bothered any. I did not see any of the rose weevils on these this year. That probably just means they're not in this soil here yet. And stuff. Now this area does need to be weeded. I was just looking today. Every morning I survey areas of what needs my attention, and what we'll get to it. Look at that. Isn't that the most gorgeous color? It's getting kind of overshadowed by the Lady of Shalott, so I'm going to have to do some either trellising, or maybe this one will get moved. I don't want it to be crowded out. I just love this one. Look at this beautiful hollyhock. I do love the white ones. I don't know why I love them so much. Yes, I do contend with the rust. I just remove those leaves and let them bloom away. Oh, another one of my pretty achilles, yarrow. I have several pink ones. I got some peachy ones. Oh, look at this. Is another verbascum, but this one's violetta, and it's never gotten as big as the wedding candles. So interesting. And the leaves are not quite as fuzzy, so it just must be the variety. And that's probably what fooled me about the wedding candles. I was thinking it was going to stay more compact like that one. My ornamental grasses, which are not, they're actually just weeds that I haven't got to. But as I said, I'm starting a new job, and it will limit my time. So probably I will not be doing as many videos, but I don't know yet. We'll see. So let's take a good overlook. Maybe I'll go up here. Overlook. I love doing these videos as a personal journal for myself. And when I review them in the winter, when I'm in depths of snow, gray, and winter's becoming depressing, I can look at these and it helps me to plan what I would like to do. Maybe to make it tidier or incorporate earlier blooming flowers, like here, instead of it's almost July. So I would like some blooms that bloom earlier. And so I can plan on putting those in there. I could probably, daffodils and tulips don't always work for me because we get those late snows that just smash them, so they just don't look great. So I have to find something that right after the daffodil tulip season just comes into play and starts blooming. So that, my friends, is this garden. Now people have asked me to do a video on my little pond, and I have said I would do that. Now these hollyhocks are coming out of here. They're a volunteer, and I don't want them there. I don't know, they're not in a right place, so I'm going to take them out, as well as that one down there. But I will do a pond video. That's my milkweed, narrow leaf milkweed. I had to buy it at a garden center because mine all died. I planted showy milkweed and the narrow leaf milkweed, or seeded it. I had tons of seedlings, and then I put them out and they disappeared. So I don't know if I put them out too soon. I know they're tricky. So if I don't get them to grow right in the ground, I don't think I'm going to be able to grow them from seed. So, yeah, that's the ticket with those. But yeah, I'll come back and do a video of my pond. The other day I was out here, and I'll show you a picture of the water lily. It's such a tiny little pond. I was shocked that the water lilies are thriving. But when I was getting the picture of the water lily, there was a little frog. He was tinier than the tip of my finger, and he was clinging to the edge. This is filled with pollywogs. The pollywogs are bigger than that frog. It was just amazing to me, but it's really fun. Really fun to have this. Alrighty, my friends. I wish you a beautiful first week of July, and yeah, hopefully summer's treating you well. I hope you enjoyed the entrance cottage garden and all that's going on there for this first week of July. So I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Did I seem like I was rushing you off? Let's get rolling and get this edited.